Hello everybody, this is the first video in a series of videos showing you how to program in the coding language called C++. Now, first step, you want to set up a compiler. Now in the description below, you see that I have a link to a site. Now this site is going to take you to a website where you can download your compiler. You will download it, install it, and now I'll show you how to do it. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to create a very basic C++ file, how to set up your compiler, and then how to compile it. Now, the compiler I'm using is CodeBlocks. This is the same one I've provided in the description below. CodeBlocks is also a C++ editor, but I wouldn't recommend using it because it has a lot of bugs and glitches, so I wouldn't use it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the computer and select your hard drive. Go into your program files ×86. Go into your CodeBlocks folder, and this should be after you've installed it. Go into the Ming GW bin. And now you're going to come up to the header right here, right click, copy address. Now, actually I can keep that open. You're going to go in, and mind you, I want to tell you that this application is what enables you to compile at all. So you better be thankful for this and make sure this doesn't get deleted by accident. Now I'm just going to head back into my computer, go into my properties. I can click right here, and it should open this up. Go into your advanced system settings, go to environment variables. Now you see where it says system variables, you're going to head down to path, select it, and then press edit. Now, where there is a semicolon, because there should be right here after mine is after core static, find the very last semicolon, then paste in the header I just copied with you guys. Then press OK. OK, and I would recommend doing something to just make it say apply. So I put in a computer description. I called it laptop, and I pressed apply and then OK. Now you're done. So now I'm going to show you a very basic C++ file I've made. Here it is. Now it might look color coded, but that is only for Notepad++. And by the way, Notepad++ is just an all-out editor. It edits all these different kinds of languages. In V, T, S, R, P, all of them. So now I'm going to explain to you the different parts of this C++ file. So #include is telling the C++ file and the compiler what library that C++ has it wants to use. What that means is it wants to take functions and commands from that library, and those are the ones you are able to use in your entire file. Now, some people, if they're an intermediate programmer or an expert programmer, they're able to use maybe 1, 2, 3 different libraries, and some don't even use this library called IOStream, which is the default library for just very basic C++ files. Now, how to dictate what library you want, you put it in between two in and out pointy brackets. And it spells IOSTREAM. And that is the first line. Now, you see these little spaces, indentations, spaces when I enter, things like that. Those are called white space. Now, white space is only for you to understand the program better. With or without white space, this is going to compile perfectly. So it's going to be totally fine. I just wanted to tell you that. Using namespace std. Now, without using namespace std, without this command, you would have to make all your files, all your commands look like this. And that's a pain, isn't it? It's a pain to do. So one command can stop you from doing all of that. So using namespace std and a semicolon at the end. Then int main. Now every C++ file should have an int main. Int main is how you start your C++ file. So you have int space main and the two parentheses symbols. Then you enter and you have a squiggly bracket going in, a squiggly bracket going out, and then in between that you'll have all your code, and then you can have more than one squiggly bracket. So you can have int mina, I don't know, and then you can have this too. You know, things like that. But I'm not going to have that. Okay. So coot. What does that function do? Coot just displays text. Or displays whatever you want it to display. Without the quotation marks, coot will display a variable called hello world. But the quotation marks tell coot and tell the executioner and the compiler that we want to display the text hello world. Now coot is followed by two in pointy brackets, hello world or whatever text you want to display in quotes, or if you're defining a variable without them, and a semicolon. Now in C++, just like CSS, all your functions and commands, except for your variables and such, should be followed by a semicolon. That's just telling the program that you're done with that statement. Moving on to the next statement, return 0. Return just tells the compiler what they need to give back to you. So if you're setting up, say, a multiplication problem and you have some variables, and the variable width and length, width times length equals area, or yeah, no, whatever. You can say return area. Variable area will be returned to you as the final value. But in this case, return 0 just means that return the number 0 or return nothing at all if the program is working correctly. So now that I've explained you this all, let's head into the command prompt. So that's how we're going to compile this, using the command prompt. So to compile, first of all, you need to set yourself up in the folder where your file is located. By the way, when you ever want to save a C++ file, if you press save, so I'm going to go to save as, it doesn't really matter what the type says. If you just enter in the extension, you will automatically have that extension. Save it wherever you want. You automatically have the extension, and C++, the default extension, not really the default extension, but it's the extension that's most used, is .cpp. So tutorial.cpp. Save, and I'm going to press no because I already have that file and I don't want to replace it. So now, we're in the command prompt, and we're going to use the command cd to direct us to where it's located. Mine is located on the desktop, so I'm going to press cd desktop. Now I'm done and I can start compiling. How to compile it, you press G ++ space -o space the name of your program, so mine is tutorial. Now C++ and this command prompt window are case sensitive. So what I mean by C++ is that if you use a capital letter in your variable, you have to use a capital letter when you call your statement again, and I'll explain to you what that means in later tutorials. Now you're going to have the name of your file using the extension exe. Then you're going to make another space and then write the name of your file again, but this time with the original extension .cpp or .h. Those are different C++ file extensions. Then press enter. I'm just going to do, okay, good. Now, you see it has returned nothing but another line for writing command prompt commands. That means that return 0 has literally returned nothing about the file but this. That means it's worked correctly, and you have this little application right here. To run it, you're just going to type in, it doesn't have to be capital T. It can be, it doesn't have to be a capital or a lowercase. This time it's not case sensitive. You can just type in whatever you want and press enter. And it'll display this. So, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like, rate, favorite, comment, watch my videos, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me. And I will have more C++ tutorials coming your way. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you actually learned something. Give me a thumbs up or write in the comments somewhere that you actually learned something or it helped you, because I would really love to know. I will see all of you later. Bye.